Well, folks, as I'm sure you know, it was Friday afternoon that we received the very sad news that Michael Nesmith had passed away. And today we're bringing on with us someone you've heard me reference many, many times on the program, and he's been a guest on the show several times. I refer to him as Monkees author and expert Fred Velez, and he certainly is. Fred, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Ghosty. I hope everyone out there is doing well, and my condolences to all the fans at this very sad moment.
Let me take you back to the first time you ever met Mike Nesmith.
Yes, this was in 1981. This was at the launch party of Elephant Parts. My friend, animation expert Jerry Beck, had invited me to the launch party, which was held at Tavern on the Green in Central Park in New York City. And when I got in, there was Nez, and there were video monitors around showing clips from Elephant Parks. And when I got a chance to meet him, I was nervous, of course. I mean, this was Michael Nesmith, you know.
Right.
And yet the moment I met him and we shook hands, he put me totally at ease. He had the kindest, most gentlest demeanor. When he talked to you, he gave you his full attention. That's the thing that struck me most about it, that he looked at you and he listened, like every word you were saying was the most important thing he could hear. And while I can never say that I personally knew him, I was gratified to know that he, whenever we met, he was always friendly and kind to me. And I'll always appreciate that of him.
His role as a member of the Monkees was obviously a very important role because Mike was really leading the charge for the group to break out of their TV shell, as it were, and become a real rock and roll band. And they succeeded in that beyond anyone's wildest expectations. I don't think anyone could have ever predicted that the Monkees would have been able to do that, but they did. And that was led primarily by Mike with, some help from Peter.
Exactly. I mean, they were the two that had the most musical background. They were both professional musicians. Peter coming out of the Greenwich Village area and Mike from the Los Angeles, Hollywood music scene. Mike was the hootenanny leader at the Troubadour,
Right.
He saw that the potential for the Monkees as a musical unit, that it didn't have to be these frothy pop tunes, but they could be more meaning. I mean, obviously, he learned at the feet of people like the Beatles and Bob Dylan that a song could be more meaningful than just a 2-3 minute forgettable pop tune. He injected maturity to the lyrics of his songs that stood out. Just on the first two Monkees albums, those songs that were his, they stood right out from the pack of the rest of the songs. I mean, Papa Jean's Blues and Sweet Young Thing, they had an edge to them that the other songs, as good as they were, just didn't have. And the same thing with Mary Mary and The Kind of Girl I Could Love. I mean, The Kind of Girl I Could Love was like a lost Buddy Holly song, as far as I was concerned. And then to spearhead the Monkees as a musical unit into albums like Headquarters and Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones, and to have written a great B-side like The Girl I Knew Somewhere, just showed what a talent he had as a songwriter. I mean, even the songs that didn't make the Monkees were huge, like Different Drum and some of Shelley's Blues. Different Drum was a major hit for Linda Ronstadt and the Stone Ponies, and Mike had originally submitted that as the Monkees, and they said, "Oh, this is not a Monkees song." I said, "Well, I'm one of the Monkees. What's the big deal?"
Right.
So, but it just showed the talent of the man, and that in concert they were incredible. I got to see them like in the later years, but I've heard the stories of them from the '67 tours, and all you have to do is see the clip of them, the live clip of them in Head, the Circle Sky sequence, and also listen to the band sequence in the 33 and the third Revolutions Per Monkey special where they're playing live, and you say, wow, this band was amazing as a live unit. And I felt privileged that I got to see them all four of them in concert in 1989 at the Universal Amphitheater the day before they received their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And there's that picture of me with all four of them that graces the cover of my first Monkees book, which I will always thank Peter Tork for because he helped to arrange that to happen. And at every occasion I've met Mike, he was always kind and attentive. And that will always stick with me for the rest of my life.
It seems that in recent years, Mike was embracing his Monkees past. Obviously, he had gone on to a solo career and made some incredible music as a solo artist, and we're going to hear a song from his solo career in just a moment, one that you've chosen. But he seemed to embrace his Monkee past I'd say in maybe the past 10 years in a way that he had never before.
That's true. That's true. I mean, for years, in interviews, he would downplay his Monkee past. He wanted to focus on the future. As far as he was an artist that kept moving forward. He rarely looked backwards, and that you could see that in his solo career. He went from the Monkees to the First National Band, the Second National Band. He went as a solo artist on his own. He did stuff like The Prison, which was a book with a soundtrack. He became a major innovator in music video. I mean, he was the first major music artist to win a Grammy for music video. He became a movie producer, an author, and he just kept going forward. It was only, you're right, it was only in the last decade or so that he started embracing more his Monkee past. And the more he met fans on the road and at meet and greet events and saw their collections, he realized how much the Monkees meant to these fans. And the more he was exposed to that, the more he was able to embrace his past, so that he, while he wasn't ashamed of his Monkee past per se, he just wanted to move on to what he was doing now. But then he realized how important the Monkees were and how much the fans loved him. And that, I'm sure, was a major revelation to him. The last Monkee tour, when he played Bethlehem with Mickey in October, he did the song that I always wanted him, and I always asked him to please consider doing concert, While I Cry, from the Instant Replay album, because I thought it's my favorite Michael Nesmith penned Monkee song because of the beauty of the music and the harmonies of the vocals. And he always said, well, we'll think about it. I'll think about it. But when he finally did it, even in the way he did it with the sing-speak style, he put so much emotion into that song that the whole place was quiet to the whole rendition of it. And when he finished, I stood up and for a standing ovation. I think people followed my lead, and the whole place stood up and gave him a standing ovation. And he was so moved. You could see it in his eyes. He said, he was very humble about it, and he was deeply touched by it. You could see it because he gave an emotional performance. But when he saw the way the fans reacted to the ovation, you could see the tears, new tears coming into his eyes as he acknowledged the applause. And I'm so glad that on this past tour, the fans showed so much love to him. I mean, yes, it was obvious that he was frail and that he wasn't 100%. But I think the love that was generated from the audience helped to pick him up more and more and more. So you saw that he was actually getting stronger through the course of the show, just from the love being fed to him from the fans. And I think I'm so glad that he was around long enough to realize how much all the fans loved him.
Yeah, he was definitely loved. I mean, he was a big part of my life, a big part of yours. I mean, I never met the man, but like I said on Facebook, I have to thank him because he gave me so much. Gave me so much entertainment and music to think about. And, he has got wonderful books. I mean, true Renaissance man in every sense of the word. You chose the song Thanks for the Ride to play us out. Why did you choose that song?
That song, I felt, summed it up because of the sentiments in the song. We, as myself, you, and the people who followed him for the past 55 years, we were on this journey with him. We may not have been with him personally on this journey, but we followed that journey from the Monkees to his solo career, to the music videos, to the books, to his exposure in the internet media. The man was a true innovator and journeyman. And we went along on that journey. And this song, I think, sums it up with the words, "Thanks for the ride." That thank you for Mike for letting us tag along your journey.